welcome to the 18th episode of Unstoppable Equestrian. I'm Danielle Poulsen, Dressage Plus, and today I've got a question for you, and it is, are you riding or practicing your dressage tests enough in your training? And anyone that rides with me, either has lessons or works with me on phone coaching, you'd know that I love riding through dressage tests, and I highly recommend it as a way to prepare for competitions, but not only just preparing for competitions, also as a tool for your training. So even if you're not a competition rider, but you love dressage training and improving in your training, then I highly recommend pulling out a dressage test and riding through it, because it will bring up a lot of areas for you to focus on and get motivated towards. So handy for riders that aren't competing as well. This video is handy for you as well. So there are a few reasons I want to share with you why I believe it's so important to ride through your dressage tests at home often, very often, and there's four I want to share. So the first one is that it allows you to learn and remember your test and just get a feeling as to how quickly movements come up for you within that test. Secondly, number two, is if competition nerves are a big one for you, then you must ride through your tests at home as many times as possible. Really until you can ride through your test at home without feeling nervous or getting anxious just riding at home. And if that's you, if you get nervous every time you go to practice it at home, then you must be riding it regularly, daily, every time you get on leading up to a competition, until those nerves disappear when you go to ride it at home. Third point is that it allows you to have some feedback in your riding and notice which movements are tricky for you and your horse, where you need to practice within your training at home, and what movements need a little bit more work on. And fourth point is that it allows you, from riding from start to finish, practicing at home in your tests, it sets you up for competition day, and it allows you to practice staying focused for the whole 5 or 8 minute test and really learn to concentrate. And this can be the most challenging thing in our riding, I believe, getting really good at concentrating, staying focused, staying in the moment, so you're not thinking what ifs or having negative thoughts pop up in your mind. And that's really probably the main reason to practice your test as often as possible, to be able to bring in any body language or mindset exercises to help you stay focused within your 5 minutes of the test. And that, I believe, if you can do that, then nerves disappear, other challenges disappear, and it becomes so much more enjoyable. So how often is often enough to be practicing your dressage test? So that's a good question, and it really does depend on the combination and where you're at in your riding. And if you haven't been out competing for a while and you've got a comp coming up, or you are moving up a level and you're a little bit uncertain about that, then I highly recommend riding through your tests, at least one test every ride, for a good 3-4 weeks leading up to the competition. And this will change for everyone, but you'll know if you get on and you feel nervous riding through your test, or you're having trouble, you can't ride from start to finish without circling or doing a different transition, or having a few issues, then you need to ride through them even more until you can ride from start to finish, staying relaxed, your horse staying with you, and not either kind of getting out of rhythm or coming above a bit or sucking behind the bit. They're the reasons for riding through it. Noticing what's going on for you. Where do you hold tension? Are you turning down the center line and clenching so tight your horse is shooting off underneath you? Or are you preparing for a canter transition and making them so nervous that they're anticipating and throwing their head up and getting tense? So it's riding through them over and over again, so you can really, I suppose, micromanage your own body and notice where you need to let go, or what exercise you need to do to help you breathe through the movement, or whatever it might be for you. And it's the power of riding through them heaps and heaps of time that allow you to see different insights and get different feedback, so you can practice new things. So if you're a seasoned competitor rider, then obviously you might not be needing to ride through your tests as often, and you'll know yourself if you like to ride through them a few times throughout the week before a competition, whatever it is for you. But make sure you have a strategy and know what works for you, so you can bring it into play, so you feel confident going into leading into competition day. Now, I've got to bring up the elephant in the room, and that's anticipation. So many riders, when I suggest that you ride through your test, so many of them say, oh, but my horse starts to anticipate. They learn the test and then I have problems with them anticipating movements. And I want to call you a little bit on this one. I really believe that the benefits of practicing your test far, far outweigh any chance of a horse anticipating a little bit. And even if your horse does anticipate, really that's just feedback to you that you're maybe giving them a mixed signal, or you're anticipating yourself and bringing in a little bit of tension within that movement that they're anticipating. There are a couple of spots that I do agree horses can anticipate, and that's trotting like down the centre line, the halt and salute. So if that happens, obviously just leaving out the halts and salutes when you're practicing your test, or putting them in different spots of the arena on the centre line and just playing around with that. And also, if you find your horse is anticipating when you're picking it back up from the long rein walk and moving it into trot or canter, just riding it in different spots, making him walk past C or past A before you trot on or canter on. Again, this is a reflection of your training and maybe the signals aids you're giving your horse. So take that feedback on board and play around with improving it. So I hope that gives you something to play with, riding through lots of your dressage tests and just experimenting and taking on the feedback. I am actually going on holiday next week for a couple of weeks to sunny Fiji, so I'm very excited about that. I'm going with my partner, Dave. So I will be, the videos will stop for a couple of weeks while I'm on holiday, and then I will be starting up again middle or late August. So I look forward to sharing some more information with you and hearing how you all go with practicing your dressage test, what you're getting out of it and what you're noticing. So have a great week, guys, and I'll see you later. Bye.